People's Democratic Party in Lagos State has expressed optimism about its chances of winning future elections, particularly the 2025 local government elections. Chairman of PDP Local Government Area Secretary in Lagos State, Mr. Daniel Alao, stated this at a special meeting attended by party leaders, including Zamani Muhammad, Olubankole Wellington, and others. Alao emphasized the need for party unity, saying, "This is the time for us to come together to win Lagos for the good of both indigenes and residents living and doing their legitimate businesses in the state." He acknowledged past mistakes but expressed confidence in the party's ability to learn from them and win future elections. Alao appealed to all party stakeholders to put aside their differences and work towards the party's progress, stating, "The masses are waiting for the PDP, and there is no way we can make progress in a situation of pandemonium and division within the party." Regarding factions within the party, Alao acknowledged internal disagreements, but emphasized the importance of unity, saying, "The best way to win a war is togetherness." He expressed confidence in the party's chances in the 2025 local government elections, saying, "You will be shocked with the results that will come up in 2025 if we don't claim a majority in all the local government area chairmanship. Our voice will puncture the existing system." Dr. Nelson, what do you have to say to this?
Good party prep talk. He has a responsibility to mobilize his party for the elections. And he's starting well on time. This is 2024. And he's preparing the party ahead of 2025 elections. And the truth is that even when federal governments and state governments demonstrate a certain level of incumbency powers and might in statewide elections and in federal elections, one place where we should see more nuanced elections, if there is actually an election indeed, is at the local level. Because the people at the local level are closer to the candidates and their personalities and their antecedents. And if there is a proper election, then they're actually in a position to make their voices heard, because they know the people very well. And you're choosing people locality to locality, local government and chairman and all that. But then, unfortunately, again, we have been seeing carry-go outcome in local government elections across the country. So we don't know how that can change in Lagos State of all places in 2025.
Considering what played out in Lagos, especially in the 2023 presidential elections. You recall certain persons coming out to actually threaten electorates to go back home. Even there were town criers making announcements and telling people not to go out to vote. And then for the people who were brazen enough, who were bold enough to go exercise their franchise, you saw what happened.
There
Some
were
received
consequences,
the beatings of their life. Some were told, if you don't vote for this particular party or this candidate, go home. And these things happened. And up until date, guess what? There are no consequences. These people were captured on camera. To date, I have not heard anywhere that there are prosecutions, there were consequences, there were arrests that were made to the people that perpetrated electoral malpractices and violence in Lagos State. How do you think this is going to play out? Do you see the residents and indigenes of Lagos, not forgetting as well that non-indigenes were also threatened not to vote? And you recall the aftermath of what happened, in Lagos State when Labour Party won, when Labour Party took majority of the votes in Lagos. What do you have to say to that with respect to the upcoming local government polls?
I think it was Edmund Burke that said that the only thing necessary for the continuation of evil is that good men do nothing. And I think that might be playing out more. In a federal election, in a presidential election, those indigenes might have more power compared to those whom they call non-indigenes, or those who are living in their midst that are not from those places. And so you can see that play out in any a tug of war or contest, but for local elections, where, of course, the interest of the indigenes cannot be in one party. That might not work because you have a balance of forces, both on the part of the indigenes and non-indigenes participating or supporting different parties in those places. And that's why I feel that might be the game changer. Right. Again, if you look back at what happened in the 2023 general elections, in spite of all the threats and all the attack, if the actual, the outcome was still different. P2B, for instance, still won officially in the Lagos presidential election. But you will also notice that after the election, there have been reports of some things being done to, as it were, prepare the system to make sure that such outcomes will not repeat itself again.
That's why I'm asking, how is it going to play out? How is it going to affect the 2025 local government elections?
No, if you say the next general elections, then we might wait to see. But for the local elections, I think it might not have any real impact because of what I've just explained. The balance of interest across the parties on the ground of those local forces. Because it might be easier for them to say the president or the presidential candidate is an outsider. But when the candidates are all locals, when the candidates in the local are all locals,
it's going to change
then
the dynamic.
that changes the whole dynamics.
Interesting.
That changes it.
Interesting.